Please don't be raining. Perfect.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. We have made it. Fall camp is here. BJ Rains with Bronco Nation News. John Mallory, Johnny Ballgame, host of Idaho Sports Talk 95.3 FM. The Ticket, weekdays 3 to 6. We are outside Albertson Stadium where, Johnny, they're literally making the switch from the old banners to the new banners. They're fixing the rest of the scoreboard back right here. The players are already on the field doing some pre-practice stretching. It's a beautiful day. Johnny, happy football season.
Where do you even go with that, right? I mean, yeah, they're literally taking the banners down as we speak. The guys up in the contraption, whatever that is up there, BJ Crane, if you will, and he's doing that, and the scoreboard, day one, fall camp, and just tremendous coverage that is on the horizon for Bronco Nation with BNN and KTIK. Never before have we received this type of access that we're going to receive this year with this football program, and it's going to enhance everything we do. It's going to be like, BJ, how the heck did we talk about this team 3 years ago when all we got to see was calisthenics and maybe 3 or 4 individual drills on practice? You know, we're never going to talk all week about maybe a player who might have a good game next week or whatever the case is, if we're aware of maybe a situation he's dealing with, right? And, you know, there's a million things that we'll see that we can't and won't and never will say, as you know, but it's going to help the coverage in our storytelling, and Bronco Nation's in for one heck of a ride this year, man.
As I said, we were outside Albertson Stadium. We're in the parking lot. We're tethering off the 5G on my phone, so hopefully the signal's okay. Hopefully the microphones are okay. Let us know if it's looking and sounding good so far. We are going to hear from Matt Miller, Boise State wide receivers coach. Intriguing battles and guys coming into the wide receiver room this year. We're going to look at that. We're going to talk to Demario Warren as well and talk about the cornerbacks. Johnny, I know we've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, but first practice, the excitement, the hype, all off season, everything that's been building for Spencer Danielson has been great. but starting today, they get a chance to try to go out there and prove it on the field.
I think we're going to see that too. Spring practice, there's kind of an element of fun. There's kind of an element of the light at the end of the tunnel is a long ways away, and let's acknowledge that. It's not anymore. And I think some of the coaches set the tone for that with the media session 2 days ago of it's here, it's time. There's no more farting around, BJ. It's football season. We're going to see, in my opinion, Spencer Danielson's going to want to kick the door down on his first practice and have it at a high level of intensity. We're going to see that, and I think that's going to be the case, and I think that tone was set earlier, and no more spring practice kind of fun vibe. Positions, livelihoods, it's all at stake now, and it's a lot of fun.
And as you mentioned, the access is going to be unprecedented. Every spring practice, fall camp practice, except for the scrimmages, a couple close scrimmages. But other than that, from start to finish, the media is going to be allowed to watch the entire practice, Johnny. That's like the first 4, 5, 6 practices. We're going to get to watch it in its entirety. Now, we can't tell you team drills. We're not supposed to tell you depth chart, who is where. But in terms of watching those drills, watching those plays, and then inferring from our comments, people are probably going to be able to put 2 to 2 together on some things in terms of what we're talking about. But Spencer deciding to open it up, allowing us to have that kind of access. And then a new one as well, every single spring practice, there's going to be interviews afterwards. So the scrimmages,
fall camp, you mean?
I keep saying spring practice.
I know, right? It's here,
I'm so
dude.
excited for
It's
fall
football
camp.
camp.
I've said
Day
it 3
one.
times already. Fall
Right there,
camp,
yes.
Fall camp. It is still July 31st today, so it's a little odd for that. But every fall camp practice, there will be interviews afterwards. We'll get those up on BNN. They'll have them in your show as well. So we're going to be able, as you said, to tell the stories of these players better than we ever have before. I'm going to be chatting after practice with Sire Gaines today, the freshman running back. Again, got here in the spring, but a true freshman running back. Typically, we haven't been able to talk to them during that first season. So that's a perfect example.
Wow.
A perfect example right there that we're going to talk to a Sire Gaines. I don't know who you guys have on your list today, but it's going to be a lot of players, a lot of interviews, a lot of practice highlights, a lot of coverage. And BNN and KTIK are ready to kind of take this thing to the next level. So we do need about 28 more subscribers on YouTube to help us get to 5,000. We've got an hour, so if we can make that happen before they hit the field, I would love that. Certainly by the end of the day, we'd love to hit that 5,000 number on our YouTube channel. So if you're able to go to youtube.com/Bronco Nation News and give us a subscription there. It's free. It's easy. Takes about 3 seconds. We'd love to have you. If you're watching on Facebook or X, switch over to YouTube. All the press conference videos, all the interviews, all of our highlights, all of our coverage from fall camp on the video side is going to get dumped onto our YouTube channel. And Johnny, some of your shows that you're starting with Coach Sanford again, Ball Talk, some of that may be exclusively on the YouTube channel this year. So make sure you get in the habit of watching us on YouTube on a daily basis. And again, please help us get to 5,000 if you can. Like this video in the bottom, share this video if you can, and it's going to be a lot of fun. With the time I mentioned, Johnny, I mean, most days they're going to start practice at 9:50. So I joke that Spencer Danielson did this for us, but in the past we've been kind of screwed up with times, and we've had to go over to the James, maybe do a show at 11 or do it in between practice, interviews. We weren't sure what we were going to make happen, but I believe with the way this practice schedule works, we'll be able to keep BNN live at 9 a.m. with Prater and Jay and yourself pretty much every day before practice. So I think that's going to be nice.
In our work week as well at KTIK, like I won't go into the office until after interviews following practice. So my work day is here watching practice, doing the interviews, then getting back to the studio, putting our thoughts together. We have a lot of the show already planned, type of segments, but I can't wait. I mean, every day you're going to do it. Every day, Prater and myself are going to do it. We're going to share our observations of practice each and every day. We know what questions you want answered. You want to know who's ripping it up in the receiver room, right? What quarterback is doing well in this drill or that drill, or even certainly some of the scrimmages, and they're going to want to know that stuff, and we're going to do our best to, certain stuff is obviously embargoed, but a lot of stuff isn't, and we're going to share our opinions on these platforms and keep everybody focused. And man, August 31st, that first game, BJ, what is it? 1 month from today exactly, this show's going to be airing. Hopefully Maybe I'll pop on your pregame show or something. You'll be in Statesboro in 1 month, probably wearing that same silly hat.
Hey, man.
Love it.
First day of fall camp, kind of a dumb tradition I started like several years ago, and now
Don't change, man.
Now I
It's
know
awesome.
folks will be asking for it, so I do have the dumb fedora here for the first day. Let's get to a couple of these storylines. We've talked about them, but now starting today, we're actually going to see them on the field, Johnny. And there's a question from Boise. Let's see here, Banana Locks. Do you guys get the sense that Cutter favors Madsen based on his comments? I would say yes, which I find interesting because I don't know if you saw my tweet or not, Johnny. There, sportsbetting.ag, a sports betting website that is out there, has actual betting odds on like 7 quarterback battles in college, 6 NFL quarterback battles. One of the ones they list is Boise State.
Isn't that crazy? There's a line on this competition. There's a line.
And you can actually go bet this on a real offshore betting website who the starting quarterback would be. And I got to tell you, they've got Maddox Madsen at plus 150 as the underdog, and they've got Malachi Nelson at minus 200. I'm guessing these guys haven't been reading a lot, watching a lot. They just kind of saw the 5 stars bet next to Malachi Nelson, USC transfer, and assume he's going to be the one starting. But, I mean, I would say maybe right now.
I'm not touching this topic, man.
I would say I'm just saying, like, based on what Dirk Cutter has said, and he has gone out of his way to praise Maddox Madsen, I would have been less surprised if it was flipped and the favorite was Madsen going in.
So you're like, there's a value play on that. You get plus whatever with Mad Dog, and if anything,
I'm just saying
might be 51-49. I did get that sense. I know what that banana guy, whatever, is talking about.
Yeah.
It felt there was a couple of times. I know I believe it was in my interview with Prater with Dirk, and I think it was a Malachi based question, and he threw in Mad Dog with the answer. Maybe it was with you as well. There was a couple of those, and the ceiling, the star rankings. That's what I love about Coach Cutter. He doesn't give a rip. Dirk Cutter, in some senses, is Maddox Madsen, coming from Highland High School and Pocatello and having to fight to get a head gig, interviewing for this job twice, getting passed over twice, fighting and clawing in the NFL. And I think there's a lot of Mad Dog in Dirk Cutter. And if whether there is or isn't, though, we are getting an impartial, unbiased, perfect for the program decision maker in this with Spencer Danielson and Dirk Cutter. I cannot buy into any political motivation to pick one over the other. They say best chance to win week 1. I buy that, BJ. Hook, line, and sinker. And if I'm a fan, this is my team. I'm loving that. There's nothing political. We are going to get the best chance to win. If I'm a Boise State fan, that's what I'm thinking. And that's the beauty for me is this competition. BJ, it is even Stevens, man. Where it starts today.
It is.
Starts in less than an hour.
Yep.
No more spring kind of, yeah, man. No, dude, it's on. And Mad Dog gets first reps. It's not Mad Dog's job to lose. I hate that. It's Mad Dog's job to win.
Yep.
He's first up.
Yep.
So he needs to go win the job. The staff has told him, you're the guy for now. For now, you're starting. You're in the, Mad Dog needs to go win this, and Malachi needs to do everything he can to take it from him. And hell of a storyline there with the quarterback position, BJ.
No doubt. But I do think based on Cutter's comments, like he likes Madsen a lot. He does. I do. Numerous times he's talked about how good he is in my interview with him. He challenged me talking about the star rankings with Malachi Nelson. I mean, he has seen Maddox Madsen play in a game. And so I do think right now, I think the slight quote-unquote betting favorite, whatever you want to say, should be Maddox Madsen. He is taking the first rep today. Cutter has said good things about him, but he's also talked about the improvement that Malachi Nelson has made as well. So we'll find out starting today how much improvement Malachi Nelson made over the summer, where both those guys are at. And Spencer Danielson did say on Monday he's going to announce it before game week who that starter is. So that basically leaves about 3 weeks left in this competition.
You know what's weird, too? We had Petros Papadakis on Idaho Sports Talk to him during media days, and he is well in tune with USC football as an alum and as a broadcaster, and well in tune with Southern California high school football in recruiting. And he said something on our show that was like, gosh, so Mad Dog's really got a chance in this thing. And we're like, yeah, absolutely. And he's like, God, he was saying that's going to be weird because they're paying Malachi to be there. And if he doesn't get the job, there's probably not a lot of instances in this country right now that have a quarterback competition where one guy's getting paid fairly well and the other guy isn't. And the guy that isn't gets every opportunity to win the gig and wins the gig. But that is exactly the opportunity here. But I did think about that when Petros brought that up. I was like, that is going to be an interesting dynamic if you're paying for one of the kids and he doesn't win the gig. But again, Cutter, he doesn't give a rip, and neither does Spencer.
No, not at all. Hey, I do want to talk to hear from Matt Miller, hear from Demario Warren as well. Those are two key position battles, I think, on both sides of the ball, or two positions where it's an intriguing group. So we're going to discuss those positions, get your thoughts on who you think the starters are at wide receiver and at defensive back here coming up shortly. But do want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. That Bloody Mary, that mango margarita, pina colada, so many great flavors. And again, pick them up at your gas station or grocery store. Perfect for that next game day tailgate. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. There would be no BNN without Rowpaint.com, so please support the sponsors. They're helping pay Johnny to be out here, so ROEpaint.com, Rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Make sure you check them out. The best in the business, concrete coatings, interior, exterior, residential painting, all that good stuff at rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Make sure you check them out as well, ICCU.com. Tyson Degenhardt Show, episode 2 coming up next week, I believe. We appreciate Clark and Shelby and the whole crew over at ICCU. And again, they've got a branch pretty much on every corner, but as you know by now, that easiest is the mobile eBranch online banking from the app right there on your phone. So you can do it all right there. So easy to move money around. Just wish the Raines family and BNN had made the switch to ICCU sooner. So make the switch today. You'll be happy at ICCU.com. Boucher Real Estate, Matt Boucher, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Boucher. BoucherRealEstate.com. Check them out, 243-8222. And again, super impressed with Matt and his team and what they did to help us out buying our home, selling our home. So appreciative of Matt Boucher and his team. So again, he'll sell the $5 million ones. He'll sell the smaller ones as well. Make sure you check them out, BoucherRealEstate.com. And of course, our friends over at Ridley's at Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 locations around the state of Idaho. They've got other locations in the surrounding states. And again, download that Skip app. You get up to 40% off at the checkout line on your smartphone there. And I love that CUNA location. So think local. Next time you're heading up to McCall, maybe check out their McCall location. We appreciate them, and check them out for all your grocery needs at Ridley's Family Markets. Okay, Johnny, the wide receiver position. We're going to hear from Matt Miller momentarily. We've talked a lot about it, but you've got Latrell Capels coming back. And you know, people forget 2 years ago how good he was. You've got, Bolt and Strawn ready to kind of emerge at that next level. You got the, Chase Penry is kind of the steady guy there. And then, you got, Cam Camper and Chris Marshall coming in. In terms of intrigue, wide receiver might be at the top of the list on this team going into fall camp.
Man, corner, wide receiver, quarterback. I mean, those are the hot positions just in the sport right now. And all 3 of those positions have serious intrigue with these position battles. Like, of the receivers, and I love this group. I do. I've been high on this receiving core group since I've been covering them. BJ, the only receiver that I would have high-level confidence in that I know is going to have an active role in the passing game in this offense, will have plays created for him, is Latrell Capels. That's the only one. I love Prince more than anybody in the media. I think Prince Strawn's a future NFL kid. But I don't know if this is the year. How many catches did he have last year? Was it 15-ish?
17, something like that, yeah.
I mean, gosh, so now I'm going to put 60 catches on him from 15. Now, guys do that in college football every year.
Sure.
You got to sit behind somebody, you get a chance, and then you pop too. But other than Latrell Capels, I mean, all the other guys, Chris Marshall has such intrigue, and I can't wait to see Chris Marshall in a half hour out there. I want to see him stand out. And then obviously the guys you mentioned, everybody's going to, they're going to be fighting for scraps like dogs, dude, because there's only going to be so many passing attempts to go around every week. This is a running team, and how they're going to be able to keep 4 players happy, maybe even 5. that's going to be a serious challenge for Matt Miller.
Hey, again, we're outside Albertson Stadium right now. You can see over my shoulder here, they're putting up the new banners over Johnny's shoulder. They're finishing touches on the new Boise State logo on the back of the scoreboard. A lot going on here. Practice starting again in about 30 minutes. But Matt Miller, Boise State wide receivers coach, I had a chance to catch up with him at Media Day on Monday. Let's hear from Matt Miller.
Boise State wide receivers coach. Intriguing group you got. Some returners, some new guys coming off injury, guys ready for breakout years. What's the excitement level for you with your group going into camp?
Yeah, I think this the work they put in this offseason into the summer. Very, very high expectations for that group, and I'm excited to see those guys all of them go out there and compete here in the next couple of days.
Two intriguing ones, I guess, was Cam Camper and Chris Marshall. You saw Chris a little bit in the spring. Sounds like Cam's going to be slightly limited, coming along, but just getting a chance now in fall camp to see those two guys. Your thoughts and the ceiling, I guess, for those two?
Yeah, I think it's really good that both those guys are getting healthy. Chris battled a couple things in spring camp, and obviously Cam didn't do really anything in spring camp. So seeing those guys get healthy, get into our system, get those actual reps is going to be very beneficial. I think they both have very high ceilings, but they have to be able to go out there and perform, compete, and that's meaning able to stay healthy. And a lot of those guys have a couple miles on their tires, and so it's going to be really important for us to manage their reps.
I mean, both those guys seem like they could be starting, 1A wide receivers if they're healthy and clicking. I mean, what kind of – if you can tap into that potential, I mean, how intriguing are the possibilities with those two?
Yeah, it's obviously really intriguing. It's also really exciting because we have other guys in that room who are going to help, compete and push those guys, as well as they're going to push and compete with those other guys. And so as one goes, the rest of that group's going to go as well. And so that open competition, iron sharpening iron, is going to be really, really important for us to, to really figure out this camp.
Latrell looked like same old Latrell in spring ball out there. I mean, what kind of benefit? I think people forget how good he was 2 years ago. I mean, to get him back out there, how big is that?
I think what we really missed with Latrell was his leadership. Not having him out there last year, he's very much an alpha leader, and he's going to demand a lot from that group. And he showed up in the spring camp, obviously with how he performed, but how he led from the sideline into the huddle and throughout his play. And so having him, I think, is something that we really missed last year, and we really, really are looking forward to having him back here this fall.
And then another kind of group, it would seem like, Prince and Austin are kind of in that same kind of just ready to emerge as stars, had solid years last year. I mean, how do you kind of look at those two and their development and trying to become all-around, receivers?
Yeah, I think the big thing with those two guys, they really haven't played a lot of football still. AB came along really strong towards the end of last season, and Prince had a limited role throughout the season and kind of picked up towards the end of the season. So having those guys have those reps in spring camp was really important through the summer, and I think their best football is still in front of them. And so for those guys to go out there and compete this camp with the rest of that group, I think it's going to be really, really important in terms of their development.
Where's Chase Henry fit in? I mean, people kind of forget about him, but he had some big catches, done some things for you guys too. I mean, he would seem like he's facing an uphill battle in terms of playing time, but where do you see Chase fitting in?
Yeah, I think Chase has done a really good job being consistent. He does everything really at a consistent level, and he's a guy that we can trust in a lot of different positions as well as on special teams. And we'll be able to find a role for Chase just because he's a consistent mannered young man, and he's grown into a leader role as well. And so super excited about Chase and the rest of the group.
Do you see one or two guys kind of having the 70 or 80 catches and the 1,000 yards, or do you see like four guys all having 40 catches?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to be something we got to figure out throughout fall camp and who can emerge as a playmaker. It could go one of two ways, right? It could be that group of receiving by committee, or it could be a couple of guys sticking out and being those 1,000-yard guys. That's where it's an exciting opportunity for us with that group. Is there's a lot of different possibilities, but now it's the time for us to go put in the work and execute.
Do you prefer is there one that's better in terms of scheming against the defense or whatever? I mean, the depth versus the stars, or?
Obviously, they both have pros and cons. At the end of the day, whatever it takes for us to win the football game is what we're going to end up doing, and I think those guys are on the same page as that as well.
I guess final thing, I mean, just the excitement level for this team. You know this program very well. Fans are super excited, CFP, whatever. I mean, just how ready is this team, I guess, to face what's ahead?
Yeah, I think right now these guys are very linear focused on Georgia Southern, and that's what I really appreciate about those guys. They don't get too high, they don't get too low. They're really focused on what's important at that moment of that day. And right now, that's just preparing for fall camp here on Wednesday and ultimately getting ready to go play Georgia Southern here at the end of this month.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
There he is, Matt Miller, speaking with the BNN crew. Jaden Finch, myself, helping get the video yesterday. I know you talked to Matt as well, and you asked a question, I think, to Spencer Danielson, to Matt Miller, and I kind of stole your question there, as you're known to do for others. What the 2,000-yard receivers versus the four guys with 500 or 600 yards? I tend to think it's really going to be spread out this year, but you think maybe it's going to be a little different.
In a perfect world, it's everybody eats. Like, for example, Drew Brees threw for 5,000 yards one year and did not have a 1,000-yard receiver. Everybody ate. And it didn't come all in the same game. Some receivers eat one week, then maybe they won't eat the next week while the others do. But at the end of the year, everybody looks at the productivity and they say, okay, everybody ate and we won. We did everything. That's the perfect situation. Something tells me that Dirk Cutter's going to go Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, right? Or Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson before he developed Chris Godwin, where he's going to want his two receivers that are out there on most formations. And there's going to be two receivers that maybe catch 50-ish balls, 40-plus balls. And then there's going to be a next group of two receivers that fight for 20 to 30 receptions. You have to factor Lauder in. I expect 30-plus catches from Matt Lauder, and I think I'm being low on that. And I expect 40-plus catches from Genty, and I think I'm being fair on that. And this is a running team. I don't know where all these balls are going to go, where four receivers are going to get 500 yards. Ideally, great. I think more, I would say, BJ, there's two receivers that stand out. Those are your guys. Boise State fan, find a Pettis and a Young.
Well, I think it's crazy because the other position I want to transition to is defensive backs. And so some of these drills are going to be able to look in the same area, with the one-on-ones and stuff. The receivers certainly are intriguing. And for me, when you bring in Banks, that changed things for me at the corner position. I think we feel pretty good about Irby and McCoy. But let's transition to the DBs, and then we're going to hear from Demario Warren briefly here in a second. What do you make of that competition? Where, the rotation, and then don't forget about Markel Reed. When he's been healthy, he's been the starter here. So where are you on the competition at defensive back and how you see all that shaking out?
What a great fourth corner to have, like Markel Reed, right? There's not a lot of pressure that you need X amount of snaps. You're the fourth corner. You're very experienced, and I would imagine Markel Reed is one of the top fourth corners in the Mountain West. I love it. Now, if Amarian McCoy isn't the number one corner after fall camp, that's a good thing. That means, dude, Jeremiah Irby and or Devon Banks are better. Oh, didn't expect that.
That would be something.
Right? That all of a sudden, we're better at corner, Bronco Nation can say, than we thought we were. This is a bonus. So corner and this, my favorite drill, I'm their front row seat every day. It's for me, the most heated part of practice, the highest level of competition I see in practice. And it's the one-on-ones, man. DBs versus receivers with the quarterbacks rotating, throwing them the ball. They do red zone. They do 25-yard out. They do the whole route tree. And that gets high-level intensity, competition. The trash talk back and forth is sometimes just outright hilarious, some of the stuff these guys come up with. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. We'll know more every single day, and I know you love those too. Prince Strawn against McCoy and a fade route in the end zone. Whoever wins that battle, the other one is hearing about it, and that's a lot of fun for practice. And both those, what do they say? Iron sharpens iron.
Yep. We're going to hear from Demario Warren in just a second. Do want to thank a couple more of our sponsors. By the way, we got some new sponsors we're going to announce tomorrow, some new imaging. So we're excited about August 1st as we revamp some of the sponsorships and things here moving forward. Lithia Ford of Boise, they're not going anywhere, though, but we do have some cool NIL-related stuff we're going to start tomorrow. Lithia Ford of Boise, make sure you check them out. That anniversary sale going on. Again, they've got NIL deals with football players, with other student athletes. They just do so much for Boise State. Return the favor. Your next car or truck, make sure you purchase it at Lithia Ford of Boise. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Great Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange Store. And again, whether it's the Ashton Genty Heisman, whether it's the NIL shirts, all that good stuff, make sure you check it out at the Blue and Orange Store. Again, online, get that shipping discounts at blueandorangestore.com or anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Just going over to the Blue and Orange Store at the Boise Town Square Mall. They're on the second floor next to Pro Image. Taco Bell, me and Johnny are going to be doing one of these shows over at Taco Bell. Johnny fell in love with that breakfast quesadilla there.
Oh,
so
good.
We'll get Johnny back over to Taco Bell shortly. TacoBellWorks.com if you're looking for a job.
Again, they're hiring, and they're also donating a lot of money to Boise State student-athlete scholarships for the men's and women's basketball team. So we can basically see Taco Bell right up Broadway here from our spot in downtown. Check out that one or any of their 20-plus locations around the Treasure Valley. Return the favor for their investment in BNN and Boise State for that matter, and check out our friends over at Taco Bell. And if you're looking for a new job, how about transportation compliance service? Maybe you haven't thought about the trucking industry, but it's really a strong one right now and a lucrative one. And again, if you try to fill out the paperwork, you don't know where to start, you do it all yourself, you end up falling out of business. So let the professionals at transcomservice.com help you out, and you can be out there towing that first load in no time. And our friends over at Lean Feast as well, leanfeastmeridian.com. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. Saw Prater and I there on Monday talking about it. Again, I'll buy your first meal this week. If you can get in today, tomorrow, Friday, send me a picture that you went to Lean Feast, and I'll either comp it or I'll send you a gift card or something. We'll figure it out. I'll Venmo you $10 for your meal. So check out Lean Feast. You will not be disappointed. You want to get on that regular rotation of meals. Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. And one quick plug for Circa before we hear from Demario Warren. Circa Sports, we're going down in about 3 weeks for the contest weekend. It's $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Survivor is $10 million to the winner, $6 million guaranteed for millions. So if you're looking to win some money, have a stake in the game when you wake up on Sunday morning wanting to watch some football, I highly recommend jumping in the Circa Sports contest. It is a $1,000 entry, but if you get 3 or 4 buddies together, it brings the cost down significantly. And again, if you want to join us in 3 weeks, I can get you a hotel discount. I can get you some free open bars out at Stadium Swim and having some fun and partying down there for week 0. If you can't make it, but you'd like to get in, reach out to me, and I can help sign you up through our proxy, Tom Carroll, VegasFootballProxy.com. We can sign you up and get you in, and then you can play from Idaho or from Texas or from anywhere in the United States. Even if they don't technically allow sports gambling, it is legal to do it through a proxy. So check them out, Vegas Football Proxy, VegasFootballProxy.com. And Johnny, we love our time down at Circa. We're hoping to get down there again for the football game as well in October, working on a little package. So if you're interested in going, those are filling up fast, but we do have a few spots left for the football game against UNLV down there in October. So let me know. Airfare, couple nights hotel, pregame party, all kinds of stuff's included with that. But let's hear, it's only about a 2-minute interview. We're running out of time. It's pretty quick, but a couple of quick bites. Boise State cornerbacks coach Demario Warren.
All right, here with Demario Warren, cornerbacks coach. What's your excitement level for Wednesday and starting this thing off?
I'm excited. We're ready to go. We've been preparing all year long, and so now it's that time. It's really the 2 days before is really hard because you got everything done. You're ready to go. You're ready to practice, get the pads going. So, yeah, we're fired up, ready to go.
Your group brought in some intriguing guys. We saw what a guy like Irby could do in spring. We're going to find out about Banks, but just the depth you've added with those two guys, how does that change the look of your room?
Competition. We got a lot of competition with experience, different perspectives, different things that they've learned and gone through in their careers, and guys that have played in big-time games. So that's fun to see, and our guys got a chance to play in the championship last year. So it's a lot of guys that have been out there. They've been through the wars, and so now you kind of know what to expect from those guys. And they've been healthy throughout the spring, and they've been healthy throughout the summer. So it's an opportunity to go into fall camp full tilt, and don't think we've really had that opportunity in the last couple of years. So even Markel's ready to go. So it's the healthiest I've seen him, and so we're excited to get this group healthy and experience and kind of understand what we expect.
I was going to say, you got like 4 guys that probably think they deserve to start or play a lot. I mean, how do you as a coach, I know injuries happen, things play out, whatever, but in terms of those 4 guys and the transfers coming in, they probably didn't come in to not start. And Amarian saying, look what I did last year, I deserve to start. And even, Markel's saying, I've been a starter the whole time I've been healthy. Like, what's that like as a coach, keeping all those guys, competing, and then when you do name starters, trying to keep the other guys in it?
I think they're all here for the right reasons. They want to win championships. That's why you come to Boise State, and so that's the first and foremost thing. Like, that's what we want to do is win. And then secondly, they're going to go get a chance to compete on it on the field, and they're going to be able to get graded and every single day. And so we're going to need multiple corners. I've never started a season and ended a season with the same guys, and so they're going to understand they're going to be an important part whether they're the starter or not. And so it's just full competition, making sure that you earn the reps that you get, and then making sure that you're ready to go when your number's called.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There he is, Demario Warren. Again, we're outside here at Boise State. They're getting set for that first practice. I can hear some whistles blowing. They're stretching, getting ready. We'll be heading inside as soon as we get off the show here for the first practice of fall camp. We'll have highlights for you coming up. We'll have interviews. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's all the talk, all the 7-8 months since that UCLA game, we can finally put the spring practice, the summer workouts to bed and have real actual practices and a game to look forward to here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be super exciting. Johnny, one interesting note behind us, they are taking down the old banners behind us here. And we were I know you discussed this on your show yesterday, but interesting topic, 4 banners. In the past, sometimes they've just done 4 players. Some banners, they combine players, but it's always been a big deal around here to get your name on a banner outside Albertson Stadium. It's one of those traditions at Boise State that is a really big deal. They've got a lot of candidates, and they've only got 4 banners. What are your thoughts on the banners that we might see going up here in the next couple of days?
I'd be interested in Bronco Nations as well in your chat room there. Like if you have, there's 300% guarantee for me, Ashton Genty, Ahmed Hassanin, and Alexander Tubner. They're all 3 captains. They've never had a banner before. It's time.
And they were just voted captains yesterday, I think it was. They sent the video out if you missed that. But Tubner, Genty, Hassanin are the captains, and I totally agree with you on that.
They're all getting banners now. Well, what about Jonah? Well, Jonah is right there. He had a banner last year that he shared with Dimitri Washington. My suggestion is Jonah will get a banner this year, but I think they'll do something fun, and they'll have him share it with James Ferguson Reynolds, where you can kind of showcase 2 potential All-Americans. I think it'll be cute. The fans will like it. Oh, Jonah and JFR have a banner. Maybe you could do that because Jonah's had a banner before. Or, again, what are your viewers saying? Like, who else needs to be up there and have a banner? Ben Dooley is the long-time kind of veteran offensive lineman. I could see them going in that direction.
Latrell Caples?
100%. Kind of if anybody deserves that, it's Latrell Caples. No one's going to go, oh, Latrell has a banner? That's kind of weird. No.
I mean, you could throw an Andrew Simpson in there. You could throw a guy like Michael Callahan in terms of the heart and soul, and maybe not an official team captain, but a leader on that defense. I mean, you've got 10 or 11 guys. Clint is saying Simpson. Lucas Taylor wants Austin Bolt. I don't know if he's quite ready for a banner yet.
That would be an interesting decision. I would say no on Bolt as well. I don't know if a receiver gets a banner. I think that position.
Who's the last receiver to have one? A Thomas Spurbeck? Did Shakir have one? I think Shaq had one a couple years ago. Yeah, they're liking the Dalmas. They're liking your idea. Dalmas, JFR, put them together and give the other 3 captains their own. Dalmas was named a captain as well. That's the first that I can remember. One of the special teams guys. I mean, to be a kicker and be a team captain.
I don't ever remember a captain not getting a banner, but maybe there's some historians watching that remember that better than I do. For me, it's like if you're a captain, you get a banner, and that's the case. But Jonah had a banner last year. So do you double him up and give him his own this year? Or do you say, we'll do what you did last year with you because you are special teams? Heck, let's throw JFR on there. That'll be an awesome banner. People would love that.
What about Mason Hutton, the long snapper? And put the long snapper in there too. Put
Jonah's the type of dude that will say, honestly, I don't want to do it by myself. I want Mason and I want JFR. I want my holder and my long snapper, and that would be like a Hallmark special. Oh,
with the little SWAT team logo up there. And heck, get Stacy Collins in there, in front of them all. Let's get the whole special teams going. That is going to be one of the things we're going to be looking for today. Special teams, who's back there at returner on day one? How does that kind of stuff shake out? Because we talked to Stacy Collins, and I might play that on tomorrow's show, but he says, hey, starters are going to be out there. Special teams is going to be 1/3 of the game, if not more than 1/3 of the game, in terms of what they hope to do and change the game and change the field position and score points and pin guys deep. And they're not going to be like last year. Every time it comes out, well, we just don't want to fumble. We're going to fair catch. They're going to return punts. They're going to return kicks. And you're going to hear in tomorrow's interview with Stacy Collins, like there's a real chance Ashton Genty gets work and maybe serious work in the return game. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but if he's your best player and you want to get the ball in his hands as much as possible, there's a real chance you might see Ashton Genty return kicks and punts this year. I want to see that out on the practice field.
Stacy Collins told Prater and myself, if he is without a doubt the best punt returner we have, he's our punt returner. And I thought about it twice. I was like, really? I mean, are we really going to do this? But okay. I mean, Boise State fan, especially against Oregon, it's the first series of the game. The Ducks go 3 and out, and Genty's back there to return the first punt. And no one's going to take a leak during that punt, right? Are you kidding me? So I get that frame of mind too. I think Stacy Collins and part of his decision to come back here, he told Spencer, if you want me to come and fix your special teams, because it is a freaking disaster outside of getting lucky with the positional players of your kicker and punter. If you want me to come fix it, I'm not going to go do it with third and fourth guys on the depth chart. If I want to do special teams my way, I need the best players on the team. Maybe he wasn't getting that at Penn State, and Penn State has a wealth of talent. And maybe, he was told at Penn State, you got to pick. I'm not giving you a first-team guy on any special teams unit. We're going to see first-team guys on every special teams unit. They're making it where it's the cool thing to be on the special teams unit. It's a badge of honor. It tells everybody else on the team, these are the dogs. These are the OKGs. And I think Coach Collins made it clear to Spencer Danielson, if you want to crush special teams like any other position, dude, give me good players. And I think Boise State is giving Coach Collins good players on special teams. And Boise State fan is going to get back to, kicking ass on special teams, which is such a big part of this program for a really long time.
Mixed reaction in the chat, as you can expect. Some love it. I see one calling it irresponsible to have Genty back there. They're bringing up Doug Martin being back there, returning the opening kickback at one point. It'll be interesting. But it all gets going in about 7 minutes. Super excited. Again, subscribe on YouTube if you can. Tell your friends. I want my goal for like 2 months has been to be at 5,000 YouTube subscribers by the first practice, and we're literally like 25 away. So if you're watching on X, if you're watching on Facebook, go over to YouTube real quick. It's youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. Hit subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Sometimes you're not actually subscribed. The video is just populating your feed. Make sure you're subscribed. Help us out. Hit that like button on the video while you're at it. And for those of you that are subscribed, make sure you turn on that notifications button. So anytime we do go live, you get informed on your phone or wherever at that you are live. So all kinds of fall camp coverage coming every day. Practice, interviews, highlights, press conferences. It's all live shows. It's all going to be on the YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribing and following us and liking our videos on YouTube. And Johnny, I know you guys got a big day coming up. We're kind of previewing practice. You guys are going to be able at 3:00 to tell folks what you saw.
Yep. Our camp observations going to be something we're going to do every day on IST that Prater and myself are at practice, or there is a practice. We're going to tell you what we see, and that's going to be fun. And we're going to be talking to a player who has a lot at stake, a linebacker, Marco Notriani, playing at an all-conference level. He was last year's DJ Schramm out of nowhere, and then the injuries happened, and then the offseason of Jake Ripp happened, and that competition battle. We're going to talk to Marco today, see exactly where he is, and we have a mystery guest, someone that if I gave you guys 50 guesses on who we're going to talk to today, I don't think you could get it in 50 guesses.
Oh, that's some intrigue right there. So make sure you're listening 3 to 6, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. Download their app, and you can listen live online at KTIK.com as well. And again, we'll have you covered. We'll dump all the highlights, all the video, all the press conference up on our, someone's guessing Lou Major as the guest.
I wish.
That'll be in the book someday, the Lou Major chapter. But appreciate you guys for checking us out. Make sure, again, you're listening to them at 3, but check our YouTube channel after practice. Check my Twitter account, my X account, Johnny's as well. We'll be posting videos, observations, all kinds of stuff. And if you can help give us $50, we'd love to have you subscribe. I'm going to have daily observations myself, daily articles.
It's worth it. BJ, let me take over from here. Look, $50 for an entire football season and beyond for a year here. I mean, it goes without saying, this pays for itself, BJ. The money you're going to save watching BNN as opposed to doing anything else, spending money, it's going to be a serious difference in your life. You're going to notice it, and you're going to get all the top-notch shows. $50? What was a newspaper subscription all those years, where you needed it?
$15-20 a month. This is $50 for a full year.
You need BNN, man. You need it if you're a member of Bronco Nation.
Well, we appreciate you guys. We do need your support to get to all these road trips, to get guys like Johnny and Prater on the show. I was ready to catch it for you. You could have made it work there. Come on, you should have dropped it when I was
All right, and I caught it. There you go. But appreciate you guys. Go subscribe if you can. BNN 50 deals, that promo code. You get $20 off that first year. And again, just go to BroncoNationNews.com, hit subscribe, and put in that promo code and get $20 off. Thank you for the comments here. Best $50 you'll ever spend. It really is worth it 100%. Thank you guys for the kind words. And if you're on the fence, again, daily coverage. I'm going to have articles pretty much every day, Prater columns, all kinds of great stuff. So we're going to head over to the practice field, check our social media, check our YouTube later. And again, listen to KTIK at 3. Have a great day. Congrats. We made it. Football is here. Fall camp practice 1. We're going to go over and check it out. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News at BroncoNationNews.com.